So let's talk about Figma. So right off, like when you sign in into Figma, you get a a document screen that looks like this. If your screen looks like this, it's most likely you're just starting out. Don't mind these layers on the right, like you're just starting out, building what you're doing and getting the whole idea. So that is it. So right off the bat, you can also see that the left hand panel, like this left hand side, is for your layers. So it majorly just tells you what kind of layers you have. Like for instance, if I just click this, you can see I grouped it. So you see it's like it's a layer, it's showing up here that it's a layer. We're going more into that as we are going on. And then the top hand side is for your tools. So you have your tools here in this left hand, like the left part of this top hand side. You have your file name. But if you're clicking on something like the way I'm clicking on this, you won't have your file name. So it's okay if you don't see your file name here, it just probably means that you've clicked something there. So that is it. And then you have your share link if I decide to share it, like I shared with my team member earlier. And that is it. So um that is the way this works. So you have your layers. Don't forget the left hand side. You have this right hand side is also called the inspector panel. It gives you a detailed explanation. Like for instance, if I click this share link, let me go to design, and if I click this share link, you can see properties of this share link. I mean of this inspector panel that I wrote here. You can see the fact that it's a stroke is giving you all these incredible details you get. So that's how the inspector panel works. It gives you detailed information. While your left hand side will show, you can look to your left hand side, you can see this layer selected. So this layer here are what builds up this inspector panel. So that's what you need to keep in mind, when you're doing this. And also we that is it. And then you can see that when you clicking something, the file name no longer shows up here. You have other things like this sign here. So that thing actually converted this into a section. So that it's now a section. You know this is more premium stuff, but yes, it's the idea. So this is the inspector panel. The left hand side is for your layers. Top tools, file name, use, share link, a lot of good stuff there. So if we zoom into this tools here, let's zoom into these tools, please. And then you can see the number of tools we have. So this first, the one we're now going to do is these basic tools now that we're going to be using. I'm not going to treat all the tools, but just the ones to be using because, if you want to, learn how to, there's a premium, like a premium class for that. And I don't want to take our time. So we have, this first tool is called the move tool. It's basically for moving objects in your environment, in your Figma environment. For instance, if I zoom out a little bit and I use this thing, I can, I can move it. Let me just click here, and you can see that I can move it. Why? Because I'm on this move too. It won't work for all that tools. You get as the way it works for that one. So that is the idea behind this thing, is that you just move things around your figure. Like now, if I click this, I can move it to anywhere I want. Let me zoom out so you can see. So that's your move to. It just, it moves stuff. Yes, just move stuff around for you. So that is it. So you have your move to. The next two we have here is your frame to. The frame to acts more like a canvas, like a painting canvas. Like for instance, now anything that is not in a let me um let me show you something quickly. Let me do this and then show you. Let me just keep this in place and then we will just do that. For instance, you can see this frame too, that it happens so that if I just click on this frame too and I draw something, you can see the frame, right? Yes, you can see the frame. Now, if I have a rectangle and I draw it, you can see the rectangle is outside. Let me change the color of the rectangle so you understand what a frame is about. So a frame, it embodies particular content. You get it acts like a holder, like a placeholder for you. Just clips every document you put inside, just to make sure everything acts well in the frame, because that's how it should be. And every component screen that you be designing, it has frames. Like this is a frame. This iPhone 14 Pro is a frame. Like if I just keep clicking, you can see that there's a frame. You get, so this frame actually shows you different dimensions, um, exact dimensions. If you're designing for iPhone 14 Plus, you can see it's way over there, but and bring it here. iPhone 14 Plus. So this is just basically what a frame does. It gives you this information that you can work with. That is how a frame, works. So if I keep clicking, I can get things like Android small. I can get, for if I'm designing for Android screens, a lot of stuff. So that is just how it works. So the frame too is what you need to be looking at. And then you can see Android small, like this is for small Androids, and then this is for large Android. If you want to ask me why do we have why do we have a lot of like iPhone 14 frames and just like two Android frames? I'm not saying nobody cares about Android. I'm just that could just be people's preference. Like they like the iPhone size and everything. But yeah, if you're designing for Android, please stick to the Android large screen. Okay, so make your life easier. So that is it about frames. Frames just embody, like for instance, now you see on this layers panel, you see that, please look to this space I'm showing you. This rectangle, right? This one here. Now, if I attempt to put it inside this frame 4, if you can see the frame 4 here. I don't know. I need to be sure you can see the frame 4. Now, if I put it inside this frame 4, I want to attempt putting this thing inside this frame 4. So I'll just click, hold. Let me click, and then put it inside. You can see it's saying white line to show that it's going to the next layer. If I move it, just go behind. If I want to put it inside to highlight it, and then you can just put it in. You can see our full rectangle is inside this frame. So whatever we are designing, sticks to these frame dimensions. You get, so that is it about um frames. You get, so if it's a little bit confused, I'm trying to break everything down, to be like at the beginner's level, so that we can all just understand what we're doing here. So that is it about frames. So you can see that if I shift it with my mouse out, you can see it goes to another frame. But you want to make sure that you're sticking with frame 4. Just make sure everything is in frame 4, that you can see your design, and then you can, after putting it inside, you can remember, how do I put it inside? I click here. I understood, first of all, you need to first read the frame. This thing, the top said frame 4. This one I want to put it inside. So I click my rectangle and I see frame 4 here. So the thing highlighted blue when I wanted to put it inside. Remember, my mouse is hovering on top, then I just left it. You can see that it now shows that it's a child of frame 4. So that is how frame, work. This is how frames work. This is how frames work. And the next one we're going to be handling after frame is which they can see this one now. Remember, I said I'm not going to be handling like the inside part of these tools. Those are going to take the top values so we can speed up, work with time and everything. Make sure we're working with time. So that is it.